Hi, my name is Tessa Nelson, and I will be talking about investigating casework, and that's what this presentation is going to be on today. And so this is just a table of contents page. I found out that through a personality test, I am called an ENFJ. And ENFJs are often characterized by extroverted personalities, which actually makes a lot of sense for me because I'm very outgoing and I like to do things with other people. And others are drawn to them due to their empathetic nature. And I also feel like I am an empathetic person. And the protagonist believes in people and they connect with people's behaviors and their intentions. And they try to just offer love and encouragement to people that they want to support. And there are 16 different personalities, and I did test for the ENFJ personality just because I like to help support people, and which actually makes it very well for a casework job, because casework is all about getting people connected to resources and such. And I scored highest in the intuitive and judging sections, and my ultimate goal is to actually get a master's degree in social work and help people accomplish their personal goals. So I believe that the trait of being intuitive and feeling towards others will benefit me in the long run, especially in these kinds of careers where it's based in human assistance. So the self-assessment, I kind of did why social work. And after graduating high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt like I had no direction. And so I didn't do well my first semester and I completely flunked out. And then I took a year break and then I got into BYUI. And I would have traumatic experiences during that break from school and some into school. And then I realized that I wanted to help people grow their resilience, overcome PTSD, and live fulfilling lives. And so now we're going to go on to career research about casework. So a caseworker is a job in social work that connects people to resources and helps support them in whatever difficulty they're having. So there are many positions in this field of social work. There's housing, welfare, child case managers, and they work every day to support their clients physically, emotionally, mentally, and developmentally. And so the job description of a caseworker is they advocate for clients, they support the clients in court, they help clients get connected to resources like food stamps or WIC, maybe even housing services and rental assistance. They help them get into therapy programs, they support the client's emotions, and they assist in the client's endeavors. And so the advancement opportunities in casework usually have to kind of get an advanced degree, unfortunately, because a caseworker does require a bachelor's degree. And so they can become directors, managers, and assistants. However, even with an advanced degree, they can go even further than that and become clinicians themselves and therapists and run centers. So the qualifications of a caseworker and what's needed to be a caseworker is you have to have a bachelor's degree in social work, psychology, sociology, family studies, or a related field. This just demonstrates the knowledge of the field and that they've been trained and educationally trained in human development and human services. Communication skills, so because casework is you're required to communicate with clients and you assist them on a regular basis. Record keeping, you have to take detailed notes as a caseworker. You have to keep notes about the meetings, how they went, clients' desires and goals. It's really important to keep notes. You have to be sympathetic and empathetic to your clients because some of them are going to be dealing with some very challenging circumstances, and you have to be able to manage those sensitivities. And you have to have knowledge of HIPAA because HIPAA has very strict rules on client information and privacy, and you're not just as much as a medical doctor isn't supposed to tell about their information in the mental health field, you're not supposed to tell about somebody else's information either. So the job outlook and salary, the field of social work is expected to go 12%. The median wages for casework and social work was $39,000. The highest 10% is $67,000, and the lowest 10% is $26,000, which actually makes a lot of sense because casework does range quite a bit on how cared about in this individual state that people are living in, and so that's why the salary ranges so much. This is my interview with a caseworker. So I interviewed a caseworker named Emily, and she worked for a domestic violence shelter. She had very good insights in the field. She gave me good recommendations. And her personal story is just that she was going to University of Utah, and she was looking into getting a degree in child development, realized she didn't really like working with children. So she took a social work class just on, kind of because a friend inspired her to. And it got her interested. She excelled in the class, and her professor was just like, hey, you do well. You should look into some career options for you. And then she realized that this, has a wide range of jobs that she actually enjoyed, and then decided to go ahead and get her degree in social work. She originally wanted to work with people who are like going into nursing homes or like families and that transition. So instead but she didn't get that job. So she went and became a caseworker at a shelter instead. And that's kind of how her jobs with casework started. And then so I asked her what was like enjoyable and difficult about it. And she says that she loves her job and she feels like she makes an active difference for people who are going there for help. She gets them connected to food services, free therapy, court assistance, and rental assistance. And it just allows victims for them to go somewhere, because abusers usually cut off their victims from any kind of help. And many of them would be forced to stay with an abuser if they could not receive outside assistance. And although working with people and helping them gives her great joy, one of the difficulties is she's dealing with people who are under a lot of stress. And so like sometimes that stress is taken out on the staff at these shelters, and there's like aggressiveness, maybe yelling sometimes. And she mentions that she just approaches it with a calm demeanor. It really helps de-escalate the situation. So problems in the field is many people who work with trauma victims will experience secondary trauma. And this is basically when you hear a lot about different traumatic stories, and it kind of affects you and it makes you depressed, or it causes you to have PTSD. And Emily had to go and get her own therapist to help her resolve some of the secondary trauma. Emily mentioned that gratitude is something that makes her feel really accomplished. When people write thank you letters or like express that she's really helped them, it makes her realize that she is making a difference, and it demonstrates that she's also doing her job effectively. All right, so samples of school social work. So teaching family life education was a class at BYU Idaho that just kind of taught me how to help families, and I worked with emerging adults, and it just gave me help with serving families. It also inspired me to go become a peer support specialist, which is basically where you help support a peer through a difficult time in their lives by emotionally connecting with them and empathizing with them. And I took another family and consumer sciences class, and it was called Family Resource Management, and we talked on how to support families, but also like individually how you can help support families by taking care of yourself. And then, so now there's FCS Core Standards at BYUI. And one of them that I felt like really hit the FCS goal, especially on human services, was Family 420, the helping relationship. And it teaches useful skills to like how to work one-on-one with individuals, and how to empathize, advise, and challenge clients who are struggling with different problems. These skills can be used for caseworkers, peer support specialists, CBR workers, or anyone who is working in a social work related field. And so Intro to Social Work was another class that I took. And I felt like this was really helpful for the FCS field, and maybe even people who are looking into going into family and consumer science, or these, fields of work that relate to it, because it taught that different aspects and challenges that individuals and families face on a daily basis. And so it learns how to support people in different circumstances as well. And it talks a lot about public policy having an effect on individuals in the family and creating a better world for everyone. And it talks a lot about ethical guidelines that are important in any kind of field that you work in, that's FCS or family-based or human services-based. Sociology of the family, this class investigated different family structures and how those structures have changed over the course of history, like analyze trends in divorce, domestic violence, and other like family challenges. And it went over to family systems, which is super, super important to like family structure and stuff, and like how theories play into society and how society affects the family. Family stress and coping was another one that I felt like was really applied to the family and consumer sciences, because it helped you understand family stress and how the dynamics of that stress affects the family. And it taught how to balance these stresses and allow the family to handle their stress in a healthy way. All right, so career planning, the caseworker career, it completely lines up with family and consumer sciences standards, because casework would fall under the 7.0 section, which would be family and human services. And so for career planning with degrees for casework, a bachelor's degree in child development will help you become a caseworker. Family and consumer sciences, marriage and family studies, nursing, psychology or health psychology, bachelor's degree in social work, bachelor's degree in sociology, and a bachelor's degree in early childhood education. These are all the degrees that can help you become a caseworker and work with individuals and families. Marriage and family studies can be either done online or in person at BYUI. And this degree is awarded after students have received 3 certificates in family studies. And the 3rd certificate can be picked out of those 3 options based on like what your preferences are. So like you get these first 2 and these ones are required, but then these 3 you can pick between them. And I personally was a fan of human services. That's one of the ones that I picked. And This degree prepares students to assist individuals and families, making it perfect for a career as a caseworker, because a caseworker, your whole job will be assisting families and individuals. All right, this degree is offered only for on-campus students, and it does prepare people to work in like human services and how like humans interact with society and families interact with society. And it focuses on like community education and promotions of families and individuals. Therefore, like since it's very human services based, it would make a perfect degree for trying to get work as a caseworker. This is also the social work program at BYUI, is on campus only, it's not online, and it provides an understanding of human diversity, oppression, and discrimination, which a lot of families deal with those on a daily basis. And so it's perfectly set up for people who are interested in working with casework, because a lot of it is like advocating for people, like getting them connected to like resources and assistance. Perfect, that's like the definition of casework. And so the best way to continue to develop opportunities in casework is to attend staff meetings, take continuing education lessons, and gain further education through a master's degree. And this is the Works Cited page. So I really want to thank you guys for watching my presentation, and I hope that I did a really good job. Thank you so much.